even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Hello, and welcome to the 420 Project podcast, episode number 6. I'm Sean.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Michael.
And yes, tonight we do have Michael back.
Yes,
Yay.
Michael's here.
I feel very
It's not actually
welcome.
Sean just putting on Michael's voice.
Did this actually happen during the
Yes,
episode?
I did. I put on your
Yeah, the
voice.
two
Okay.
times.
I was like, except it wasn't your voice. It was like
clear.
it was my friend's voice, and it was like, I'm Michael.
Thank you, Sean.
Dear.
I feel quite valued.
I'm so glad you feel valued to the team. We missed you while you were gone, so we're happy you are back.
I'm
This
happy
week.
I'm back too.
Yeah,
That's good.
It's
I am
good to have
very
you back.
happy.
I'm going to start off by...
What have we got, Erin?
I just saw recently on Facebook a
What's
living
going on that
fossil.
thing? A fossil.
Yeah, so a shark with a snake-like body and 300 teeth, believed to be a prehistoric living fossil, has been captured off the coast at Portugal.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
And I have a photo. This is a photo of it.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a shark
Look at
with a
those.
snake-like
And
body.
this is that's the actual...
And that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Wow.
So...
How is
Those teeth. Look at the teeth.
Am I high? Did you just say living fossil? How
Yes.
is that possible?
So what do you mean by living? What's living about?
Well, it says the scientists on a trawler found the sea creature believed to be from the age of the dinosaurs off the... I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right to the people who live in Portugal.
I think we've got-
Algarve coast
We've got one listener from Portugal.
at the country's southernmost region.
Wow.
And
Alright.
it's 1.5 metres.
1.5.
So is it alive or
meters.
dead?
Well, it says living fossil, so I'm assuming it's alive.
But what does fossil mean?
But fossil is like fossil is like bones
Well, it
and
says-
shit,
it
like
says
something that's
living.
been dead and then and fossilized over time from like
Yeah.
lava and magma, volcanic eruptions. That's how fossils are formed.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm not some like
it says that the scientists on the
Not an
trawler found the
archaeologist.
sea creature.
Okay.
So they found it. So
Yeah.
they found something that's dated back to prehistoric time, but
Yeah.
it's here.
Yeah, and
So it's not.
That's
okay.
true. Oh, dinosaurs.
So yeah,
Jurassic Park's
the
gonna happen next
1.5 meter long male frilled shark has a long, slim, snake-like body and was caught in waters 700 meters deep.
Wow. 700 meters.
Yeah.
So it's
and
survived
caught it
all these years.
Yeah, caught it a living fossil because its remains date back 80 million years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they say
Jesus
that
Christ.
we've explored space more than we've explored our own oceans on Earth. There is so
Yeah.
much more information that we can get from the oceans to tell us about everything that's involved and clues. Obviously, that's a new species and
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like that.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
really
just a funny
trippy to
fact
think
that
about.
we've actually got this right here. Yet we've got more knowledge about space where we can't actually get to.
Yeah. Well, when I first saw it, I just thought it was a snake that has all these teeth and...
Yeah.
Well, when you
pretty
gave
much
me
is.
that,
Yeah, but...
It looks
not-
freaky as fuck.
well, when you airdropped that onto the iPad, when I airdropped it onto the iPad for you, I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And it scared the absolute shit out of me because when you airdrop it, it just pops up straight on the
Yeah.
on the iPad. And
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was like a big anaconda or something. I was like, oh, well, look at this snake thing. And then
Yeah.
Erin just says it was a fucking dinosaur or some shit.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, but
Wow.
what grabbed my attention was living fossil and
Yeah.
the 300 teeth.
Holy shit, that's wow.
Yeah,
What's it
300
called?
teeth.
Does it have a proper name?
Does it have a name?
Can I?
It just says
Can they make a movie out of it?
It just says a
like
frilled-
Sharknado, but whatever that is, NATO.
It just says frilled shark, so a frilled shark.
Okay.
A frilled
I
shark.
feel like it should have a legit scary ass name.
It
Something
probably-
that you don't want to
They
mention.
might have
Like
called
the
it something.
Voldemort
but-
of the ocean.
Voldemort. You know who. You know who is a dopolist or something. I don't know.
Sean coming up with the cracking ones.
I aim to entertain, I aim to please.
So, also when I was on Facebook, I saw someone wrote a post which I thought was funny.
Oh yeah?
So the post.
Is this a friend of yours or just?
Yeah.
But we cannot name.
No, not going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cousin, but a friend as well. So
Okay, so now we've narrowed it down. So Erin's cousin. Cool.
yeah, but it's like a third or something cousin. So anyway.
It's a third or fourth cousin, alright. So now we can narrow it down.
So the person.
We've gone from let's not mention their name, and Erin just said, oh yeah, they're a cousin. Yeah, third or fourth cousin.
Yeah, but that can mean anyone.
I know.
Starting with the letter L.
If you're listening, Luke, it's not you.
So, I guess right.
Okay. That was a good guess.
So the post read, if you run over an echidna, would it pop the tyres? Their spikes are sharp. A friend and I would like to know. And I just laughed because I was like, really? Echidnas have spikes. And of course it's going to be sharp.
Wow.
I just thought it was funny. I was just like, really? You really asking?
That would really hurt if you fell on top of it if you're like running or cycling.
It would. But do you think
Could it pierce rubber though?
Probably not.
But it can pierce skin.
I think maybe in the right way.
Someone said it
But I
happened to
highly
them
doubt
because a
it.
comment said that yes, because it's happened to us.
Oh, so they pop the tyre.
Yeah. So it can. If you run over it the right way, I suppose it can.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, our animals here are all fucking dangerous, and there you go. Even this dangerous compared to cars. The echidna, who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. I was just like, just gonna share that
Yeah.
funny piece of information.
they're so cute and cuddly, but
They are.
They can
Not
still...
really cuddly. That's funny.
No, they're not cuddly.
It just took me for
fucking
six
hurt.
because I went to my sister's house,
Yeah.
for dinner, and there were tradesmen out the back putting up their fence, and they were leaning over at one point and was like pointing to something in the backyard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go out and there was an echidna trying to get under the fence that they were building.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what to do. We tried to call a welfare company, animal welfare.
Oh yeah.
But no one picked up, so we just let him go. Anyway, we actually left to go for a walk, and he came through the backyard into the front yard, saw us and freaked out and just like ran into the bush. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it was just really weird that you mentioned the
Do you remember that time we saw that echidna when we were riding those bikes?
Bikes, yeah. Went for a bike ride, yeah.
We poked it with a stick.
Sure.
No, we weren't sure if it was dead though.
Poked it with it. Yeah, okay.
We were just like, it was just sitting there. I was just like, I'll give it a little poke, and then it was like,
Don't touch it.
don't touch me, get away from me.
If we're talking about Facebook videos, I wanted to mention that that's one of my next stories. I wanted to
You've got
inform
something
you
off
about this.
Facebook
Yeah, I got this.
as well.
I came across this video, and I started watching it, and it turns out I really didn't want to watch this video. It was quite graphic, and it made me actually feel sick. And then a week later, there was another video posted by a different friend, except this time it had a warning saying it's graphic, and I clicked it, and it was the same video. I'm like, they need to really regulate
I thought
what
they
videos.
do that though.
Not instantaneous.
Oh, man.
It takes maybe half a day. But if you come from the very first source posting this video, and you're watching it, you could be watching something that you don't want to see. And like, I don't know about you, but a few years ago there was the head getting cut off with the chainsaw.
Oh, fuck
Don't know if
that.
you've seen it, but if you see it, it's
I
like,
didn't see that one. I saw something similar though. I saw this woman. It was like Mexican cartel, and this woman just on her knees, and a guy with a balaclava, and he just takes a knife and he just going like this, and I was just like, is this fucking real?
Yeah.
And then
It started looking really weird.
then I started getting real, and I was like, I think this is actually real. This is really fucked up. This is so fucked up.
Yeah.
And then got right at the end and took the head off,
Yeah.
and I was just like almost about to vomit. I'd never seen something so disgusting in my life. It was worse than, it was probably worse than coming across a dead body,
Yeah.
which Erin and I have come across a family member a few years ago. So I'd much rather come across someone who's dead than seeing someone die.
Yeah. I'd probably have to agree with you.
Yeah,
too.
I've never seen anything like that you two were talking about. A video.
I saw a video, and it
someone
wasn't on
getting their head
Facebook.
cut off.
Sorry to cut you off, but
No.
it was exactly the same. Head cutting off, and I just felt sick.
Yeah, I don't
And I've
think I would
rem-
ever.
like once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Mm.
Anyway, so yeah, I just think that they should really like regulate it before it's allowed to go on Facebook.
Yeah. Because what if there's a younger person just
Yeah,
scrolling
it's
through
like
it?
12 years old, isn't it?
Because what do you have to
That
be?
You can be on
I thought it was
Facebook.
like 13
12 or
something.
13, yeah.
Yeah. Are you on? Do you have something to tell us, Sean? Was there another story that you were mentioning before? Was it you or was it Aaron?
No, was it? Yeah, it was Aaron.
No,
Okay.
didn't you say something about a jockey and a horse?
Oh, earlier, yes, that's right. I wanted to talk about this jockey. If you guys had seen the news earlier this week about this jockey who'd been in trouble for punching a horse. Did you hear about this?
I did. I haven't heard a lot.
Yeah, I only
you?
briefly heard, but not
No.
all the details.
Not
and
all of
everything.
it. Well, here, we've got a video here.
Oh, there's a video.
There is a video. Got a video here. I can put it on and show you guys. Let's just get the volume up.
I heard he got only banned for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's about it.
that's
That's like
A jockey has been suspended for 2 weeks after he punched a horse before a race.
Watch this cunt.
Dylan Caboosh hit the horse in the ribs behind the barriers at Port Lincoln
That's
when
cruel.
she became agitated. She's Ronaldo's girl still ran in the race and the jockey was charged by the racing stewards for the
That's-
despicable act.
So that video is courtesy from 7 News.
Jesus.
that's
that's
cruel.
So yeah, 2 weeks. Do you think? What do you guys reckon? Do you think the punishment is severe enough? Is
I don't
that
think-
sufficient for what he did?
That's cruel to animals. And the horse didn't do anything to him. Like he's
Yeah.
the one who has to bloody hop
Yeah.
on it and ride it. Poor bloody thing.
I think he should
Yeah.
just be out.
Yeah, like banned for life.
Or get a fine at least.
Or a heavy fine.
Yeah, he hasn't got a fine. He's only been suspended for a couple of weeks. I mean, he gets like the horse is spooked. Obviously, from what we could tell, the horse is
Yeah.
spooked and a bit scared about what was going on. And that's not a way to bloody calm the horse down.
Yeah, but you don't do that to any animals. It's just wrong.
At all. I know.
I read an article that said he blamed it on saying he had a brain fade.
Wow. What an excuse.
I don't know how old he is, but if he's like 30-something years old as a jockey or 20, like,
But if-
fuck off.
If that's a
Yeah,
brain,
the brain
fade,
fade.
then if he's actually gone to the doctors and had tests, then maybe, yeah, but you haven't heard anything about that.
You can't just go, oh, I was so angry in the moment that the horse wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It's there for you to like race, and you just got off it and just to punch it. And he still raced on it and everything.
Wow.
But I just don't understand. I mean, if there was an athlete, do you reckon, who runs, like, does athletics, he runs on the track and everything, and the coach was acting like that, what do you think would happen to that coach?
Are you saying like,
Like, it's a hypothetical,
if-
in comparison, just use humans, so human behaviour. So
if
it's a human
the human
jockey.
person hits the coach, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get a fine and
Yeah.
get.
Like,
Banned.
I'm just using a similar example, because,
Yeah, it's
humans
like passing
race.
the baton. If you pass it and the other one drops it, do you go up and punch your teammate? Like,
Yeah.
Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. You can't hold a bloody pink bloody baton. You
You'd get
dip.
bloody charged and you would probably be banned.
You dumb
I know
cunt.
this because I play tennis, and if you
Yeah.
throw your tennis racket onto the concrete in anchor, you lose the set or something, or you have to get disqualified, or there's a fine or something.
Yeah, I
So
just believe.
it's like you're treating your tennis racket
Oh.
like that. That's fine, and you get a fine.
Exactly.
But an animal should be more severe
Yeah.
because it's animal cruelty.
Yeah. So
Speak-
speaking of the horses, did you guys end up seeing? Did you watch the Melbourne Cup? Were you working that day?
No, I was actually off, surprisingly.
Oh, that's pretty
I know.
good.
I got the day off. I felt very lucky.
Yeah, so speaking of Melbourne Cup, I think it's a load of rubbish, honestly, just riding horses just for a race. I just think it's a waste of
I think
time.
that's what's been happening lately with our society as a
Like,
whole.
just
I
let
think we're
horses be
moving
free
past
and
it.
run.
I think we're moving
Run
past the
free.
whole let's race these horses for money.
Yeah,
I don't
so
like
many
the
people
whole
bet on
idea of it. Like, there's just all these rich
Yeah.
assholes who
Oh yeah, of course.
Who
But
own
do you
it?
think it'll go anytime soon?
probably not. There's too much money invested in it by the government. There's too much money invested in the horses. I just think it's barbaric how.
Well, it's biggest in the world here in Melbourne.
I think it's barbaric how they get them to run and race their hearts out. And quite literally, they have heart attacks and die after the race, which is just absolutely horrible. Did you guys end up seeing the protests that occurred?
I heard about it.
There was a few, for those international listeners, there was protests at the Melbourne Cup this week because of the situation currently going on at Manus Island. Do you guys know about Manus Island too?
No, not a lot.
Not a lot from
Yeah,
my
just
home.
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit of depth now. So basically, these people, to protest against the Manus Island, person drove their car onto the train tracks and spray painted graffiti over it saying evacuate Manus Island. Manus Island has a detention facility for refugees and asylum seekers, and yes, so someone disrupted the train service heading into Flemington Racecourse. And also at the Flemington Racecourse there were two women who climbed up a crane and put a big sign saying evacuate Manus on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was pretty unreal.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think I did see briefly on the news about that, now that you say that, Sean.
Yeah. So
Did that happen to be the people that climbed the Sydney Opera House in Sydney?
they also there was
that
similar people, just the same cause,
Yeah.
same cause. So what's going on right now in Manus Island, to give you guys a bit of background, so Manus Island is a detention facility that the Australian government has been responsible for, and they've been working in conjunction with the Papua New Guinea government to house refugees who've been trying to get to Australia. And they came to an agreement, both countries, earlier this year on October to close the camp on the 31st to relocate all the prisoners to another facility. And so that date has passed now. So there are 600 people who are in the camp, 600 men.
Shit.
And so basically the second that it was the 31st of October, it clicked over to the 1st.
Yep.
The Australian government shut off all the power, all the water, and electricity.
Yeah.
With everyone still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Jesus.
why?
Basically, Australia's government's sort of wiping their hands clean and saying we don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. We've paid enough money. We want you guys to relocate. They're pretty much putting all of it onto the Papua New Guinea government to get them to basically sort out the problem. So Australia's essentially just fucked off.
So, whereabouts actually is Manus Island?
Manus Island is just located just above Papua New Guinea.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they intercepted them, like before they got towards Australia.
Because Papua New Guinea is just the top of Australia.
Yeah,
isn't
just
it?
past
And
the
then
top of Australia. Yeah. So
It's kind of a stupid way of doing it, and very inhumane way of doing it,
yeah.
which is quite embarrassing for Australia.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So, just from an article here, I think I got this from the New York Times.com, says, to give you guys a bit of background, the UN warns of an unfolding humanitarian emergency on Papua New Guinea. Hundreds of asylum seekers barricaded themselves in after the Australian government cut off water, food and electricity on the 31st of October. Since 2013, Australia has paid Papua New Guinea to house hundreds of migrants caught at sea while trying to reach the continent. 600 men, mostly men, have remain at the centre. As of yesterday, the number was 420, as some have left. Sorry, but come on, that number is such a fucking coincidence. It can't just be a
that's funny.
coincidence.
420. Where
I'm not making that up. That's what I read in the article earlier this morning.
Very nice.
Oh my god. So, you've seen this news. So, what, Erin, how does the whole, from what I've just sort of told you, giving you a bit of background, and also Michael, I'll open this question up to you guys so I can smoke a bomb.
Yes.
How does this whole sort of situation make you feel? Because
I mean,
there
like
are
I was
these.
saying briefly just before, Sean, go for it.
Nice.
Yes, it's a very childish way of doing it. I don't feel like it's responsible at all. They haven't really put in a lot of thought. They could have done it a lot better, professional. It's just like passing the baton, like throwing them under the bus, as if they're not actual humans.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a reason to live or eat, or electricity for that fact.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, Aaron, what do you reckon?
I just don't understand how people can do that to other people and just think that it's okay.
Yeah, because it's
Like
clearly
it's
not.
horrible. Like to go without water and food and have no electricity.
So what's the date now? What are we at?
We're on the 13th of November.
I actually have heard a little bit about it from.
I said the 31st of October.
From the
This is
news.
still going on. This is the
Yeah.
13th of
This is-
November, eh?
It makes
it's
me
fucked up.
sick, and
How
yeah,
long
like
it's still
Michael
going.
said, it makes you feel ashamed and embarrassed to be an Australian right now.
Yeah.
I feel ashamed. Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that the
It's horrible.
people wrote letters to the president. Sorry, not president. The someone in the Philippines. Is it the Philippines?
I don't know.
Sorry, wait. What did we say? Got completely
Papua New Guinea.
confused. Papua New Guinea. Sorry. Good save, Aaron. Asking pretty much for food and water, like
Yeah.
pleading, like we need to live.
It's so
Give
sad.
us food.
But that's the thing; they shouldn't have to ask for it. They should be.
It should be
They should be
automatic.
having it.
Well, that's what the UN is saying. It's a humanitarian crisis in Australia. They're denying basic
Yeah.
human rights. The basic human right is access to water, access to food.
That's horrible.
It's fucked up. So, another part of this article that I'll read out was temporary housing is available in a city close by called, I hope I get this pronunciation correct, Lorengau or Lorengau. Refugees have stated that they don't want to leave as those who have left for the other facility have been attacked by local residents.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
Far out.
Yeah,
So it's either stay and don't have food or anything, or get attacked.
pretty much.
Wow.
Do you want to leave and get like bashed up? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember in the news about 6 months ago there was a story saying that they had had residents storm the compound and broken in and sort of caused a riot.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear either.
Anyway, so that's what they're afraid of having happen while they're leaving the facility.
Oh dear. That's horrible to hear.
But luckily they've got quite like smart people who are there, who are refugees, because the problem with people is they get the misconception about refugees is they're here to try and kill us or whatever, just to ruin our way of life or whatever.
Go take our jobs.
What is that from? I feel
Fucking
I'm
South
missing it.
Park.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just had to put it in there.
I love that. That's hilarious. So they got quite smart people, engineers, doctors, that kind of stuff. So they're using solar power for their phones.
Well, so they have phones.
So they do have phones. So the only way that we're sort of seeing any information from inside the camp right now is the fact that the detainees do have phones that they're able to charge through solar power.
That's okay, I suppose, but still.
Oh, it's like we've got no food, but we have internet access. So we'll be fine for 3 days.
But I guess it's a good way to get the information out and everything like that. They've dug wells in the ground to get water. Detainees said conditions were leading to illness as 3 diabetic men had fallen ill as they're unable to access insulin. Detainees are not allowed back in the camp when they have left, so water and food is not allowed to be delivered.
Wow.
That's fucked. Just a
So they're
quick-
blocking the water. So there are outside sources from Papua New Guinea who are
Trying to
trying
bring stuff.
to bring in the food and water, but they're not letting them bring it in.
Okay, I was just gonna say, is there someone who's actually running this camp? Like,
So Australia,
in charge kind of thing, who's stopping?
so like I was saying, Australia and Papua New Guinea were working in conjunction with each other,
Yeah.
and now Australia's fully left. So Australia was responsible for paying the bills, right?
Yeah.
So the Papua New Guinea security is still there.
Yeah.
and they're not running the prison or the camp. It's not running because there's nothing there. So the detainees have barricaded themselves in, so locked themselves in so that no one can come in and forcibly remove them.
Oh, okay.
It's basically all they want to do is live in the country, which I don't think is anything bad.
That's inhumane.
So, how does what our government? So it's not our country. Like, I love our fucking country, man. Like, I love Australia. But how does our government make you feel with what's going on, considering they're responsible for it? What the fuck was that?
It's alright. It's just
Oh, the air freshener. Oh my god, the auto air freshener. That just broke the tension in the room.
It did.
So well.
I was like, what is going on?
I'll ask that question again. So how does the government make you guys feel like in regards to what they've done?
Honestly, I just want to like punch them all in the fucking face.
Can I have you seen Peter Dutton? Our immigration minister?
Oh, he's got a face you want to punch.
Yeah, it's a very punchable face.
You want to see his face?
Yeah.
Aaron,
I would like to see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it up on the iPad. But
You'll see his face and you'll just be like, I want to punch him in the face. This
what's his name again? Peter.
Peter Dutton.
It's
Look at
definitely
this
not
guy.
the name because my dad's
He's a chef.
name is.
Oh, that's scary.
What a fucking retard.
Okay.
It looks like a
Dude.
biscuit.
See, look.
There
Isn't
he
it
is.
punchable?
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, that is such an
go on
ugly
that one.
picture.
Go on that one. Yeah.
Oh, smiling
fuck
picture.
you.
Oh my god,
Oh, look at this one.
he looks like. Hang on. Okay, let's get some different pictures of Peter Dutton and comment on what we think it is. So that one there. No, okay.
He
What
looks
does he
a
look like?
heroin addict.
He looks like he's saying, I need to go to the toilet, guys.
Oh, I just shut our hands.
I shut my pants. He's got a funny smile.
This one?
Hello everyone.
This is year 12 school photo.
It's his year school photo. I love it. I love it. It fucking is.
And there's his dad.
Is that actually his dad?
I don't even know.
What are you doing now? Where is Peter Dutton gone?
I don't know.
There he is. Alright, well, yeah, you see that fucking cunt's face, seriously.
Yeah, it's
So,
punchable.
what about you, Michael? How do you feel about the whole, how our government is reacting? Basically, not giving two fucking flying fucks, basically.
Who was it? His decision, ultimately. Is that the guy?
Peter Dutton is the immigration minister. It's ultimately up to him.
So he's the
to give you
leader
a little,
kind of thing.
actually, to give you a little bit of background about Peter Dutton, to show you what kind of power he can wield. Dustin Martin, football player for Richmond. His father is from New Zealand originally, and he had been a part of a bikie gang a long time ago, and they brought in legislation to kick out people from bikie gangs. So when Dustin Martin's father went back to New Zealand, he found out about the new legislation. He had lawyers fight for him in Melbourne to come back to Australia. They took it all the way to the High Court so that he could be let back in because he was proven to show he never had any criminal activity. He was a part of a enterprise that did have criminal activity, but he never actually did shit. Challenged it, took it all the way to the High Court of Australia, which is the highest court, obviously because it's called the High Court. So, and they said, yep, sure, we're overturning that decision by the Immigration Department, you can come back in. He was on his way to the airport and he gets a call from the government, and Peter Dutton has pushed through some dodgy fucking legislation to stop him from coming into the country. So that's the kind of cunt this guy is. So he has no sort of fucking empathy for people, it seems. So how to give you a bit of that's his background of this character, and now you've seen his face. You really probably do want to punch him in the face.
I just don't understand. How can people do this and think it's okay? Like, you need to help people. And
You want to do like the Tony Abbott, just headbutt him in
what's the point
forehead.
of being part of Parliament and not, or like the government, and just not actually doing anything to help other people in your country?
That's so sad.
It is.
Just sad.
What do you guys think is going to happen? What do you think the government's actually going to do? Do you think they'll get off their art? Our government's going to do anything, or they're just going to keep going? Nah, we not got nothing to do with it.
I reckon the third party person should just get some drones to go over.
Yeah, just drop some food. Yeah, well, it's just like if I had lots of money, I would do that, but.
I want to start a Kickstarter, a fund.
Yeah.
But
and we can do it. We'll just hire professional drone drivers.
I don't see the government doing it. Look how long they've taken to try to bloody get same-sex marriage happening. And this is only in last few weeks.
Oh yeah.
The government's hopeless, honestly.
I don't know what they'll do.
As sad as it is, I feel like these people are all going to die.
So I've got an article here to read about it, and it's to say what will happen to the detainees.
Right. So where's the article?
It's from the New York Times.
Okay.
.com. Australia has consistently said it will not accept the men for resettlement. They have all been given the option of permanent residency in Papua New Guinea or applying to resettle in Cambodia or Nauru, the location of a second offshore facility run by the Australian government. None of the men still on Manus Island have accepted the offer, according to reports. American officials said dozens, if not hundreds, of refugees from Manus and Nauru would be accepted in the coming weeks and months. About 50 men already moved to the United States in September under a deal brokered by former President Obama. Jacinda Ardern, the new Prime Minister of New Zealand, had also said this week she would honour her predecessor's pledge to accept 150 new refugees. The Australian government has been reluctant to allow New Zealand to accept the men, fearing it would open a legal backdoor to Australia.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Really? I can't.
So that's the whole roadblock.
But even if New Zealand had 150 and then
150 out of 420 of them,
that's still,
even out of 600 is a little bit better. The facility they currently have on this in this other section of the island called Lorengau has only a capacity of 300. They've got 600 people they need to house. They don't have the facility, which is I wish I had the quote and I knew what the quote was, but someone from the UN who's a human rights ambassador has checked out the facility and said, no, there's not enough room, this isn't good enough for these people. So you shouldn't fucking just accept that. But, however, earlier this week on Twitter, a Australian/Kiwi celebrity came out and said on Twitter about the refugees, I'll help you out. His name is Russell Crowe.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Russell Crowe.
Good old Russell.
He said on Wednesday he would provide housing and jobs for 6 of the men. He called Australia's refugee policy the nation's shame. He added, I'm sure there'd be other Australians who would do the same. I think that's pretty true with lots of people that we've seen. There's been quite a few protests going on in the cities around. I think there was one in Sydney, maybe there was one in Brisbane. I know there was one in Melbourne for sure. And people get inconvenienced by it, but it's a small price to pay, I guess, to be inconvenienced by. There's a traffic there's a whole section that's been shut down because of a protest. It's called civil disobedience, and it's the nicest way of protest. It does inconvenience you, but at the same time, it could be worse. You're gonna get home eventually. Calm down.
Yeah,
there's more things happening in the world than you trying to get home on time. So
that was a pretty depressing. I think I'll need to smirk a bit.
Yeah.
I hear we're playing a game after this.
Yeah, a little bit more uplifting to get us back.
It's the second week of the game that is called, Erin.
So it's the lip read challenge.
Oh yeah.
So we played last week, Michael.
Okay.
And Sean and I I'll explain why Sean bloody smokes how to play it, and then Sean and I will do a quick demo.
Okay. I think
Because
I
Erin is amazing at this game.
Oh, really? You're one of those players. Okay. I think I know what's going on. And I think I have this game, but a different kind of like game.
Okay.
It's very similar,
Yeah.
the rules though.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Erin, can you just
headphones.
explain the rules for those listening as well,
Yeah.
obviously?
Okay, so we have a. Oh, sorry for that weird noise. So this is the noise that we have to listen to while we put headphones on. So we put.
So from a distance, does that sound like a woman having an orgasm? It sounds like porn, doesn't it? Listen carefully.
Okay, alright, wow.
Isn't it so weird? Anyway, keep going,
Yes.
keep explaining.
So lip read challenge is one player puts on the headphones,
Yeah.
and the other person reads out a phrase on the card, and the person with the headphones has music or bloody just
that noise.
noise going on in
that
their
orgasm
in
That
their
orgasm noise in
in
your
their
head.
ears, and
Okay.
and the person has to read
Yes.
off the card the phrase,
Yes.
and the person with the
And as
headphones
you
has
can
to
hear-
guess it.
As you can hear right now.
And you have a minute to do
So
it.
that beeping is
So
telling
you-
you've got 10 seconds.
So you keep reading out. If they keep getting it right, keep reading until.
Right, gotcha.
So-
I've got the same game, but it doesn't take your hearing away, it takes your movements in your lips. So it's called What You Say,
Oh, you
and
put that
it's
thing
got the
in
plastic
the
and
mouth
it
guard
pulls
in
your
your-
lips
yeah.
out.
Oh, that's a
And
cool one.
you can't actually put your lips together.
Yeah, I've
so
seen
like,
that on your Facebook. I mean,
half the quotes are
And, came up.
like starting with B or P, so like you can't say Peppa
so
Pig.
just
Like,
yeah,
you just can't pronounce, and it's fucking hilarious playing that game.
I've seen that one on Kmart.
Yes, it was in Kmart. It's
and
pretty
on
cheap.
Facebook, yeah. So, Sean, are you ready to give Michael a quick? Oh no, he already knows how to play though.
I'd like to see a demo.
I'd like
Okay.
to see Erin's demo. You want to see how good Erin is?
Oh,
Holy
yeah, so-
shit.
I want
Last-
to see how good you are.
So the first time we did
We'll
it,
do a quick demo to show you, because
Okay.
Erin's so good.
yeah, I did 12 in like the minute.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and then
I'm gonna move
also
over.
after that, Sean, careful look.
Sorry.
To
Sorry,
show everyone how good I was, Sean read stuff off his mother cam, just
As
random
well.
stuff, and I managed to get that as well.
Alright, ready? Are you
Okay,
ready
so-
for this?
Ready for this? Hang on.
Ready?
Yeah.
This... This is a comedy station.
This is a comedy station.
You're my craziest friend.
Say again.
You're my craziest friend.
You're my best friend.
You're my craziest friend.
You're my crazy friend.
Did you spell check your note?
You spell check my notes.
Did you spell check your note?
Did you spell check your notes?
Wednesdays are the worst.
Wednesdays are the worst.
What do you want to eat for dinner?
What do you want to eat for dinner?
Don't fall off your chair.
Don't fall off your chair.
We have VIP tickets. We have VIP tickets.
We have VIPs.
We have VIP tickets. We have VIP tickets.
We have VIP tickets.
You are a special unicorn. You are a special unicorn. You are a special unicorn.
You are a special unicorn.
So yeah, you get the gist. You get the idea. She's a freak.
Can you have a go, Sean?
Yes, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have a
Are you
go.
any good?
No, I'm fucking terrible at this game.
Can you actually hear?
No, I'm just like
That's really weird. That's good. I
I'm just
that.
like focused right on
You
his
want to see the
lips.
comparison? See how good this girl is. See how good. I mean, this girl. I'm a guy.
One round
Yeah.
and then me. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So just the 1 minute for you.
Yeah,
and then we'll do mine.
Michael and see how you go, man. Because it's a
Okay.
pretty tricky game.
Okay.
Do you want to give Michael get
Oh
over
wait,
there?
I can
and-
hear. I can hear
Michael.
you say it. I don't
Michael.
Yeah, I don't know why you moved.
Michael, give Michael a card. So you do
don't
one,
need to.
Erin, and then Michael do
Oh,
one.
okay.
No,
Alright.
do Michael do it because I won't get them. I'm not going to get them. So if Michael does it,
Okay.
Okay. Just
get him involved.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
Cover your mouth when you sneeze.
I've got a tiny cock.
That's fucking hilarious. Cover your mouth when you sneeze. Sounds nothing like that.
Say it
Okay.
again slower.
Alright. Cover your mouth when you sneeze.
I've got a mouth on your teats.
Cover your mouth.
Cover your mouth with cheese.
Cover your mouth
First 3 words right.
when you sneeze.
Cover your mouth when you sneeze.
Correct. This is a great way to meet people.
This is a wrong way turn.
Close. This is a great way to meet people.
This is a wrong time to talk.
I feel like you just say
This is a great way to meet people.
Ah, far out. That was hard,
Sometimes I feel like you just say whatever the fuck comes to your head.
man. No, but I can't think of what's coming. I don't know what it
Maybe
is.
it's because Erin looks at your mouth when you talk and knows you really well. When you don't give it the eye contact, you might give it like eye-to-eye contact.
I do look at your mouth. I do look at your mouth because
Alright, you do
you
Michael.
can see when someone says "I love
Give
you."
Michael a go.
Is that where's the button for this?
On that side.
It's just a clear button.
That.
Yeah.
Don't press it till you're ready. And ready in
Hang on.
5,
You gotta press the
4,
button.
3, 2,
Ready?
1, go. When you're ready, when you get it. Because he did it.
No, it's got to go red. There we go. We are in a fight.
We had elephant. What?
We are in a fight.
We are in for.
We are in a fight.
We are in a fight.
Yep.
Yes.
Homework isn't supposed to be fun.
Who wouldn't do that?
Homework isn't supposed to be fun.
Homework, English, muffin loaf.
First word, yeah. Homework
Homework.
isn't supposed to be fun.
Is it supposed to be fun?
Yeah!
The sauce smells like meatballs.
The Sean smells like
The sauce smells like meatballs.
something meatballs.
Yeah, the sauce
Okay,
smells like. The sauce smells like.
Say it again.
The sauce smells like meatballs.
The short yellow meatball.
Oh dear. Good try. Do you want another go, Sean?
Nah, I'm okay.
Can I do you again?
Okay. Just for a little bit because we
Just
don't
to
want
prove it.
to sound boring.
I think people enjoy it. You don't want to play too many rounds though.
No. After this, that'll do. Go.
Okay, I'm jumping for joy over here.
I enjoy coffee. Do
I'm jumping for joy over here.
you want to go hang for a coffee?
I'm jumping for joy over here.
I don't know that.
Can you get me a glass of water?
Can you get me a glass of water?
Move quietly on the top. Sorry, I'll start that again. Move quietly in tap shoes.
Move quietly.
In tap shoes. In tap shoes.
Move quietly in.
Tap shoes.
Capsule.
Close. Move quietly in tap shoes.
I don't know that one.
What time do we have to leave?
What time do I have to leave?
Okay, that's good. Survey result. I can hear the timer going.
Hey! I think that was
Yeah.
way harder with
What-
Michael for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, because I'm trying to focus on like what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think it's because she understands your Libra.
What was the one you were
better.
saying? Move quietly. Oh, in tap shoes.
In tap, you said cap shoes. That was really
Yeah, I was like,
close.
what the
alright.
That was so close.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So I've got this quick funny story to tell.
Oh yeah.
It's
Got some
from
funny stories to finish off our podcast today, this afternoon.
It's very short actually. But
Oh,
It's
okay.
from a friend at work. She told me this story. She said after work one day, it was a really hot day at work. She wanted to cool down. She went to the pool. I won't
Yeah.
say where, who, what,
Yep.
whatever. Anyway, she did a few laps and felt really good because her back was hurting. She was saying she went into the sauna afterwards. She said it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. There was loads of kids around. She didn't want to stay there for too long.
Yeah.
She goes to the sauna. She's like, sweet. She opens up the door and there's this fat naked man sitting in the sauna.
Whoa.
So like she was immediately turned around and actually slipped and fell on the way down.
Disgusting.
So
Oh
like, they
shit,
kind of-
she okay?
it was a funny story, she's fine, but she was a little bit shocked. And then I was thinking, like, seriously, there's kids around, even though you have to be over, what, 16 or is it 18?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, it's not the type of place where you do it, where it's like...
What time of night? What
Like
time
I said,
of
it was
night?
about 3:34. There was kids out.
Oh,
after
Jesus
school.
Christ. That's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
How weird is that? And it's a multi-sex steamer. Like, it wasn't just the males one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Like, it was funny,
Oh.
and then I was thinking, no, that's kind of serious. So, like, it was funny to begin with.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, a fat naked
I think
man.
that's the weirdest thing you could imagine seeing in the sauna.
Oh dear. So was that it, Michael?
Yeah, that
Yeah?
was it.
Okay, I have a story, but it's not. It's funny. It's a bit sad and upsetting to hear. But anyway, so I found out that a Florida mother killed a girl and hid her body in the dumpster.
Ooh.
So a Florida woman faces a first-degree murder charge after her 4-year-old daughter's body was found in a dumpster.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
fucked.
And the mother admitted when she was in custody that she suffocated her daughter with a pillow on Halloween after becoming angry with the girl for talking back.
Wow.
Oh, ooh.
That's
fucking
fucked up.
hell.
Is she going away?
Shit. How could you do?
So there's a first-degree murder charge, so I'm not sure.
First degree, that means it was premeditated.
Yeah, well, she suffocated her, so...
Yeah, it means she plans it and shit.
Yeah, I'm not
She
sure
knew
how
what
long
she's
she's
doing.
going away for, but
That's
yeah.
life, and that could be like a death penalty depending on where the state it is.
Well, Florida, so...
I don't know if they have the death penalty there, maybe. I don't know. But
I was just like,
Yeah.
how could you do that? Like,
Well, I
child.
couldn't, so I really can't answer that.
yeah, like...
What goes in your brain?
When our daughter
Make you go
gets
kill your kid.
gets frustrating and she talks back, I don't think, oh, you know, gonna do
You're
something
gonna kill your
horrible
kid,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's fucked up.
That. Yeah. But I did find out that in court, a public defender made mention of the mother having possible mental issues.
Could
Yeah.
be a skid
Well, she
so.
shouldn't obviously be in charge of that child, regardless.
Yeah, if she's obviously got a mental issue that's, yeah, she can't look after a child, then yeah, maybe someone else could look after it for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. That would make more sense.
My Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So it was the person who found the body was the man who was taking out his rubbish, who lived in the same complex.
Yeah.
Like he found the body, he's just taking his rubbish out, and he found the body, which is
It's disgusting.
yeah,
At least bury it.
I know.
yeah,
seriously.
but you shouldn't do that. Like it's
Yeah,
horrible.
yes.
It just makes you upset
Just-
to hear something
It's
like
a
that.
sad story.
Disgusting things after disgusting
This is-
things.
yeah.
Seriously, there's no...
Michael, do you have anything to perk us up with at all?
Yeah.
Any funny story, or is there something you wanted to mention before we wrap up this fucking podcast?
Did I go through the first time driving rules? I did not.
No, we
Okay.
haven't
What was
heard that.
So in Victoria, they've changed the law for first-time driving offenders.
Okay.
So like, before it was 3 strikes you're out. Now it's first strike and you're out. So
So does that
if
mean you lose your license?
you lose your license? So basically, here I've got some notes here to run me through it. So the law's changed, only in Victoria. It's changed because they want to be a lot more strict. But if you really think about it, the law states that you can have a drink and drive. You're just not allowed to go over.
Yeah.
And now it's so strict that if you just happen to fuck up by like literally 1 drink or
So if you're
half an hour,
0.06,
if you were 0.06, just 0.1, sorry, 0.1 over, you lose your license and a $400 fine, which I think is
So
ridiculous.
how
So,
long do
like,
you lose your license for?
6 to 12 months, depending on how over you are. But the fact is, there's like no strikes, no second chance.
I didn't even know that there was a strike thing. I just thought,
They should just, they should just make it, you shouldn't drink.
because I do watch that RBT on TV, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was like a 3 strike and then.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe it was like that already. That
No, it was similar to that, but like it depended on how you, how far you're over.
Oh, okay.
So like there's...
because there's low
between-
range, mid range, and high
Yes,
range.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like low range, you get a small fine. you might not be.
And you might get a warning like the
You might
first
get a
time. Yeah.
warning. There could be like second stage, you get a fine plus demerit points, and you lose it.
Yeah, I reckon like obviously
And then
high
the
range
third
would be
one,
high
or
range
high range.
would be straight lose license.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you're over and you've had 2 warnings before, then you get a fine and like a 3-month no car or
Yeah.
a 6-month no car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they staged it like, yes, you're allowed to fuck up once. If you fuck up again, it's even more punishment. And then the third time's 3 strikes, you're out. Now it's just straight up, you lose your license.
That's so strict. I know they want to like stop people from doing it, but at the same time, you're basically going to make more people criminals by doing that.
But what's really annoying is that they've also got the law that you can drink up to 0.05, right? They should
What
just make
happens
it, if they
for
want it
the-
that strict, they should just make it.
So if you're a
no
P player,
drinking
you're
and
essentially
driving.
screwed if you go over. Like you shouldn't
Well,
be
you're not
drinking at all.
allowed to.
You're not allowed to
Yes.
drink, but
Even if
straight
you're
away
full-
you just have
full
your
license.
things.
So when you're allowed to drink,
fucked.
when you're allowed to drive, when you're allowed to have a reading, if it's over, it's straight away loss of license.
God damn.
Just say no drink driving.
Yeah,
If
just
you
say,
want it to be that strict.
yeah, if you're going to change it, just have, because learners in P1 and
I just
P2
think
they
it's
have to
unfair.
have 0. So why not make it for full license people as well?
Yeah. And then it goes the same for like when you're doing it on marijuana. Like,
Yeah.
why can't they have like, oh, you can be this stoned to drive? No, you're over that amount of being stoned.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
Fair enough. I guess they should bring in something like that.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's still sunny outside.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah, it's quite bright.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap up the podcast, I got a comment on one of our recent episodes on the podcast, and we've got a comment here from when we were talking about the Halloween, and we've got some information that we should know.
Yeah.
But we didn't know because we didn't do any fucking research. So we got the information here from another podcast on SoundCloud called the International Football Podcast. They're located here in Melbourne as well, so big shout out to them. And they say here, Halloween is from Ireland. People celebrate it in Ireland and always have. Irish migrants took it to America and it evolved from there. People in Ireland have always dressed up, gone to bonfires and played Halloween games. Originally a Celtic festival called Samhain. Source, I'm Irish. So there we go.
Ah.
So the source is from an Irish person
Thank you.
Well, that's good
who
to
tells
know.
us,
Yeah.
which is pretty fucking awesome. So I'm glad to know that because I said, well, I only knew a little bit, and I said,
Yeah,
I knew
'cause-
that the original name of the whole thing was called All Hallows Eve.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
In America, that's all I knew.
I thought
but
it was
now it's
American
it was
made it,
Yeah.
it came from Irish migrants, which I thought was pretty
Thanks for that
pretty
information. It's
friggin'
good to know.
interesting. So thanks for that from the International Football Podcast. A couple other shout outs as well. Robot Pizza Van, weird news. Those their podcast is pretty hilarious. Check those guys out. We're looking at doing some collaboration with them in the not too distant future, so stay tuned for that. And also Pilot Era Podcast, another podcast located here in Melbourne. They talk about what are they talking about again? Pilot Era. Sorry, I knew what it was about in their name and I completely forgot what their name was. Pilot Era Podcast. They talk about TV and TV pilots and things like that. And it's pretty. They do a good chats every couple of weeks or so. You tune into them. Also got some music plugs from a couple of people who've been chatting to us on SoundCloud. We have Mad Marsh Hares. They have a track called The Edge of Reality. They're pretty good to listen to. They're from the UK, if I'm not mistaken. We DMC. He does some freestyle rap if you're into that sort of thing. I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong. It's Sodi. I think it's P money sign OSDY. Sodi or Pasodi. I don't know. He has a track called Saucy, which I was listening to earlier today. That was pretty chick. It was pretty chick. It was pretty chicky. What? It was pretty chilled
boom.
and pretty sick. And another band, WB times or X MW. WB times MB. Fuck.
that's a bit
I'm so
tricky,
sorry
right?
for the shout out. I fucked up that shout out so badly. They have a track called Lost, which is pretty good as well. So
Listen to it.
yes, listen to those guys. If you like this track, give it a like and a repost. Check out all our socials. We have a Facebook page. Check it out, bro. Oh yeah, bro. Oh, check it out. Oh yeah.
Especially if you're in New Zealand.
So check out our socials on Facebook, Twitter, and
YouTube.
Sorry,
That's right.
I got stuck with the last one.
Or chuck us an email if you want. So,
Check us an email.
check us an email. You're not going to get over that.
Anything that you may have liked about tonight, or just a question about anything,
Question,
send us an
comments.
email. We'd like to know.
Exactly. So, from all of us here at the 420 Project podcast, I'm Sean.
I'm Erin.
I'm Michael, and I'm going to light this joint.
And Michael's going to light that joint. And that's been episode number 6. We'll see you guys next time. Catch you later.
Bye.
See ya.